Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Living with Mangoes. I'm Juan Carlos, the school teacher. This is my son Francisco, and today we're talking about this beautiful mango called the Glen Mango. The Glen Mango was a seedling selected in 1944 by Roscoe Glen. It is reported to be a seedling of Hayden mango, but Roscoe Glen himself said that it was not an actual seedling of Hayden. He believes that Hayden most likely is the pollinating parent. He believes that the actual parent is Saigon. It's a Saigon mango. So I've heard many times before people tell me that Glen is a seedling of Hayden, but in reality, it's not. It's off of Saigon, and they believe that Hayden was most likely the pollinating parent. The trees are medium in size, and they're dense. Their canopies, anyway, their canopies are dense. They are moderate producers with very good anthracnose resistance, and their fruit is very good, especially in the interior of Florida. So in the exterior, it's one thing, and the interior is another. I've seen many Glen mangoes that the trees produce very well. They have been producing very well. It is said that it's a moderate producer, but I have seen a nice production in Glen mango on the trees. Their fruit is very resistant to a lot of different types of diseases. They're resistant to bacterial black spot, they're resistant to rot, and they're resistant to anthracnose. So this happens to be a very good tree. It's a very good tree for those first-time growers. It's an excellent backyard mango tree. So I would definitely tell people to get this mango tree for those small backyards. It's just as good as Pickering and any other of those dwarf trees. Glen is a good mango to have in the backyard. They have a mild peachy flavor that is delightful. However, during the wet season, they could become watered down. And that's for a lot of mangoes. A lot of mangoes, when it's raining too much, they don't hold their taste. They get watered down, but it's a nice peachy taste when it's not watered down. It has a monoembryonic seed, and the fruits are small to medium size and develop a nice red and orangey blush. Look at that. This one is like a yellowish orange. And of course, I've had other Glen mangoes which have had red up here and sometimes orangey up here and very yellow down here. So it has a nice blush as well. The fruits are small to medium size and develop a nice red and orange blush. In my opinion, they make an excellent backyard tree. Like I said before, it would make an excellent backyard tree, especially for those that have very limited space. This will be a tree that I would highly recommend for very limited space. It is a medium-sized grower. It's not a ginormous tree, and it's not a dwarf tree. It's somewhere in between. But you could keep it very short, 10 to 12 feet. The fruit ripens in May to June, and it is beloved by many people, especially young people. I noticed that a lot of kids and young people, they love the Glen mango. It is one of their favorite mangoes. And with that, we're gonna go into the taste test. Usually the taste for this particular mango is classic in flavor. So a lot of people like this Glen mango because it's a classic flavored mango. Let's do a smell test first. Has a nice flowery, mangoey smell, very peachy smell. Has a nice strong scent. So I think this mango, this particular Glen mango is at a perfect stage of ripeness, a perfect stage. Disregard the Chihuahua. The Chihuahua's making a little bit of a noise up there. It wants to come down and eat some mango. So please disregard the Chihuahua. Let's cut into this mango. There we go. Beautiful cut. Let me cut straight down here. There we go. Woo! This is a beautiful mango. Beautiful mango, and it has a lot of juice. Look at all this juice in this mango. Look at that. You want to smell that, son? Look at that juice in this mango.
Has a strong peachy smell.
Beautiful, beautiful mango. Yeah, a strong peachy and coconutty smell. I wonder if it has hints of coconut. Look at that. Beautiful mango. So let's put this one to the side, son. And let's cut this mango up. Here we go. You take the big part. All right. First test, peel test. Let's see how this peels. Here we go. Oh, the skin is very, very thin. Very thin skinned. It's even hard to grasp. Look at that. The skin is very, very thin. It's hard to peel, actually. It's very, very stuck to the flesh, but the skin itself is very, very thin. Very, very thin skin. You want to take a bite, son? See how it tastes? Now, I know Glenn was your favorite mango, but now that you taste it again, how do you feel about this mango?
This Glen is better than the other Glen.
So, does this one get higher grades now? So, the one that beat out the Glen Mango, in your opinion, was the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie beat out the Glen Mango. But now you're having this Glen Mango, and you're saying that this Glen Mango you like even more than the previous Glen Mango. So how does it fare up against the Valkyrie Mango?
I still think the Valkyrie, it has a stronger taste.
Okay, so it has stronger flavors.
But this is really good. Like, close second.
You close second. You really enjoy this Glen Mango. Let's taste this Glen Mango. I'm gonna taste it with the skin and all, since the skin is so thin. It is very good. I could taste a little turpentine taste on the skin. So with the skin adds that little turpentine taste. Let me taste it without the skin. Yeah. This is why so many people like this mango, because it just has a nice classic taste, but it's very, very peachy and very, very sweet. And the flesh melts in your mouth.
Yep.
Good bricks, I would say, from a 1 to a 10, 10 being the least bricks. 10 being the highest bricks, 1 being the lowest bricks. I would probably say this is a good 7.5. 7.5 is a good, sweet mango. It's very good. Close to the skin, you get a little citrus hints here and there. Would you like to add anything more to this?
Do you think the other Glen we had was better?
They taste a little different. They were just, the other Glen had a little more hint of coconut. This one is stronger in peach. But they were both good in their own way. You know, Glen is one of those mangoes that you can't go wrong with. You know, if you want a consistent mango, classic flavor that is enjoyed by many, many people, you can't go wrong with Glen. Glen is a good variety. And the tree itself is very resistant to a lot of diseases. It's a medium-sized grower. You could keep it low. I believe that this particular Glen mango tastes very, very good. It's a good all-around mango. The skin is very, very soft. It's just a little turpentine on the skin. In this particular mango, I really didn't get any fibers. Did you get any fibers in this mango?
Not really.
Try a little closer to the skin.
There's a little bit near the skin, but not much.
A very, very slight a little bit close to the skin, but it's so little bit that this skin is very thin.
Very.
It's just a little turpentine, but it's edible. So it's a good all-around mango, this Glen mango. So, son, 1 Kent, 1 Tommy Atkins, 2 Kent, 3, 4 Kit. The best 10 you could possibly get in every way: orange sherbet or
A sugar loaf.
a sugar loaf. But it has to be perfect in every way. Where would you grade this beautiful Glen mango?
I liked it more than the other Glen we had.
Okay.
And I gave that Glen about a 7.5. So I'd probably give this one a little more than a 7.5.
So what would you give it?
7 3/4.
7 3/4. You didn't reach the 8, huh? Because you believe that the Valkyrie was an 8. I got it. Okay. Even the smell of this mango on the skin, it's a wonderful smell. I think that this is one of the best Glen mangoes that I've had. And comparing it to other Glen mangoes, I think the other Glen mango, I gave it a 6.5. So that's the highest I gave so far to the Glen mangoes I've tasted. But this Glen mango makes it up to a 7. This Glen mango shoots up to a 7. Maybe if I would have taken it a day before, it probably would have shot up to a 7.5. But this is an excellent mango. Glen mango, y'all. Good for any yard. The kids love it. Young people love this mango. Classic. And with that, we are out. Peace. Juan Carlos, the school teacher. My son, Francisco, living with
Mangoes.
Peace.